Hm. Wunderbar, 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 wunderbar.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Life is an illusion. The illusion you focus on becomes your reality.
Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind that seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing, again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Again, Merry Christmas. We're still on that, what is it, on that journey. So it's only the 26th. I guess most people usually would have been out shopping, I don't know, for special deals. But as it is here, where I am, it's packed with the snow. So, and it's -6. So I don't think too many people would be wanting to go shopping. Everywhere looks to be, I don't know, I guess people are shopping. I can see some street, but I ain't going anywhere. I have my tea here and enjoying myself here. So we have one person here, Bakhtash Azizi. Hello, Bakhtash. Hope you're doing well. Let me know if the sound is okay, if you can hear me. All right. Looks like we're going to have a one-on-one exclusive discussion, as probably most people are sleeping. Well, Europe is what? It's about, what is it, 10 o'clock? 10 or 11? It's not too late. And India, it's a bit late. It's probably 3:30 in the morning. Everybody's sleeping. Where else? Middle East, still the same. So it might be just local, some from Europe and some people from North America, or it might just be you and I. And Mark just joined us. Oh, she is okay. That means it's not too late for Europe. UK is alive and well and not sleeping. Okay. Now, Mark and Bakhtash, don't forget the protocol. I need to know your age, gender, where you tuning in from, which city, which country. And thank you for that. I guess Mark did that. Says male 38, UK. Okay, thank you for that, Mark. Bakhtash Azizi, Bakhtash. Bakhtash could be what? Russian name? Indian name? Croatian? Not sure. Help me out here. What a lovely tea. Dandelion roasted roots. Roasted dandelion tea. Roasted roots, dandelion tea. All right. Please don't both of you answer me at the same time. One at a time. What's a hurry? Where is it? Where's my answer? What happened to you guys? Have you guys just turned this on and gone wash the dishes or something? What the hell is going on? How come nobody's not talking to me? What's my thoughts on law of attraction? Which exactly context are you talking about? Attracting someone that you like, or attracting things that you want to accomplish in life, or things that you're hoping to have, or what is it? Because law of attraction, if there's no action behind that emotion or wish or desire, nothing's going to happen. So you sit down and think all what you want. I want to have $1 million. I want to have $1 million. I want to have $1 million. Oh, $1 million. Unless you get off your ass and go and actually do what it takes to bring about the accomplishments that you're looking for that would bring about that kind of a success or monetary success, it won't happen. So you keep saying, I want a pretty girl. I want a pretty girl to be my wife. Pretty girl to be my wife. Unless you actually educate yourself, work hard, have means to provide, and have a certain healthy lifestyle, keep fit, keep healthy, you won't be able to attract a suitable mate. She won't come near you because if she is what you're looking for, beautiful, educated, capable, responsible, committed, unselfish, and well mannered, with good morals and all that, she's not going to exchange that with cheap. She expects something. She expects quality. An educated man, a humble man, a good man, a kind man. A man can provide food, shelter, protection for that. So you got to work. So the law of attraction is good to have good intentions, but then you got to back it up with what it takes to bring about that what you're looking for into fruition. And looks like Baktash is not responding to us. So we have now the fourth person here. You're welcome, Mark. -6 right now. The temperature is. -7. I stand to be corrected. -7. Mark says, I have life goals for 2022. Dates on my wall. Actively working towards goals with some visualization. Excellent. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. So, might as well, when you get your teas or coffees or sit down here, we'll just hang out. Nobody's talking. I'm okay. I'm watching the snow. I mean, snowy weather out there. It's kind of sunny, but packed with snow everywhere. And it's cold, so one window is closed. It is cold, actually. But I'm used to cold. I prefer cold. I function better in cold than hot. Depending if I'm in the tropical place, then yeah, of course, hot is great. But usually in sports and everything else, cold, colder towards coldish is my preference. And Charles is here. Says hello, sir. Hello, Charles. Don't forget, guys. I still, as even though if I know you guys or I've talked to you guys before, I still need the protocols every time you say hello or want to comment. Just three little things: gender, age, where you're tuning in from, which country, which city. Well, I started tidying up my place because it's been filled with paper and documents and things that I've procrastinated, thinking that I might need them someday. Forget it now. I'm going to clean it up and do some proper decoration here making it what it should be. So I wasn't sure how many people we're going to have participating in our session, in our program today. But I thought it's a nice snowy day. And if it's snowing here, it could be snowing everywhere. So why don't we just have a chat? It's too cold to go out right now, anyhow. -6. It hasn't been -6 for a long time here in Vancouver. I mean, last year, I think we got maybe maximum -2, -3. But 43 years ago, when I had just come to Canada, usually wintertime, the temperature where I am would be pretty much similar, at least some days, similar to where I would ski in Whistler, which was -17. Sometimes in Whistler it was -32. But generally, right in the city, it was -17. And we didn't think much of it. But it's been years since we've had real good snowfall. I guess the last time we had a really huge snowfall was in 2000, where actually that was same day that my son and I flew off to Hawaii, and it was packed snowing here. So we kind of enjoyed escaping the cold and the snow. But since then, pretty much since then, we've not had a real winter here. Cold, yeah, maybe sometimes, but no snow, no real cold. Maximum 0, nothing further than that. So it's nice to see a little normal Canadian weather. Alex Shin says, male 30, Russia. Oh, Russia, my goodness. You are, what time is it? It's pretty late there, isn't it? Очень приятно. Рад с вами познакомиться. So, and he says, hello, Maron. I was skiing to, oh my goodness, where are you? Good for you. Good for you. I haven't skied for a long time. Yeah, I was not bad at the time. Fourth day in my skiing lessons when I first started, long time ago, my teacher, instructor, was pretty amazed because I was going into the moguls. And of course I was falling apart here and there. But he said, I can't believe you have not skied before. I said, no, I haven't. He said, you're lying to me. I said, no, I'm not. He said, then why is it? How could it be that you're so organized, oriented, and you do a great job? Fourth day, first day was already good. But I said, because I trained in equestrian. He said, what? I said, yes, because in equestrian, you don't move the upper body. So in other words, you have distinguished that your upper body should be independent. And if you're moving your hands and don't move the hands either, not much at least. And if you're moving the lower part of your body, that would be independent from upper. And we learn to keep it up. And the skiing the same. When you want to do your maneuvering, you don't turn your body with it because that's going to really mess things up. And that's my training already on that part. That's why I could follow your instructions pretty fast. Oh, that was pretty good observation by me. I guess that's why, because I was wondering too, why am I not too bad at the beginning of my learning of skiing? And Alex says 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. So Alex, you have your name, Alex Shin, but you also have it in Chinese or Japanese writing, symbols. So what's the what's going on? And I have Charles saying, male 19, Sydney, Australia, says, why am I getting anxious around my girlfriend? Could it be from intrusive thoughts? It's good to get anxious around your girlfriend. Depends what kind of a quality this anxiety have. um, yeah, you probably are dealing with some OCD and intrusive thoughts. And if you have watched the videos that we have on the channel and the links that I've put in from different experts in OCD and the specialists, such as, Dr. Schwartz, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Ange, Dr. Jan Weiner, and so you and many other scientists and scholars, you would have figured it out that these are all the mental games that the brain is playing, and it's all due to some malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. And it's pretty much has nothing to do with you. The content of the thought is irrelevant. The fact that it's just has created a short in that electrical system. Anything electrical does malfunction or has short fuse. Our brain is also a bunch of neurons and electrical currents, and that malfunction can happen very easily, which we all know on a daily basis. It happens in everybody's brain. Only there are mechanisms that when such malfunction or such intrusive thought shows up, which is part of the job of the brain to make thoughts, then there are mechanisms such as in the striatum area, in basal ganglia, the lever that is kind of resembling the automatic gear shift of the car, namely caudate nucleus, knowing your values and your inclination, every nitty-gritties about you, shuts down the intrusive thoughts when it's irrelevant to you. But when it malfunctions, it doesn't shut down the intrusive thoughts as it's designed to do automatically. And then the thought that has been trying to couple with the malfunction in the amygdala, which has created or sent a alarm, danger alarm, or anxiety and fear alarm, awareing you of some kind of a danger mistakenly, as it's gone malfunctioning as well. The prefrontal cortex tries to find a scenario or a context for that false alarming signal that was sent from amygdala, the emotional danger signal, and it conjures up something, tries to find out what could be dangerous to this person. And obviously, it hits on the inclination, because that's one of the most sacred things, an identifier for every human being. And we find it very sacred to protect it. And therefore, prefrontal cortex matches that context, that content, which is very important to us, to the false emotional danger signal that was sent by amygdala. And when it matches it up to fill out that why that emotional signal was sent, gives it a reason, then you look at the reason and say, that is why I'm feeling anxious, because this is the narrative of the anxiousness. You actually use that as a witness or a testifying or a reason for why that anxiety is there, which is actually the other way around. The anxiety was mistakenly show up without any script. Prefrontal cortex made up a script for it, knowing what's very important to you that you want to protect, and try to match it up. And then you now use that as some kind of an evidence that that anxiety signal is actually not a malfunction and is correct. There must be a reason for it, which is fucks you all up. And then you go nuts thinking there's something wrong with you or something out of the ordinary for you. Alex says, yes, Korean. Haha, see? Gotcha. So what the hell are you doing there? Speak Russian as well, plus Korean and English. It's pretty good. Very good. So, Charles, I hope that answers your question or concern. So, to continue what I was saying, so when that happens and caudate nucleus is out of balance, not working as it should, then these intrusive thoughts that have shown up because of the amygdala's behavior and prefrontal cortex trying to match up something for it, but then caudate nucleus would be shutting it down and dissipating this as it's designed to do so. But when it's malfunctioning, it's not doing that. So the thought lingers. And when it lingers, you think, my goodness, everything is then as I was alarmed. These intrusive thoughts have a reason to be there, and you get really bamboozled. But you got to focus on the malfunction of the signaling system, not any narrative or any content of such intrusive thoughts. All right. Christian Vasiliev says, I don't want to label my thoughts. Christian, what happened to the info that we all are accustomed to have here before our question? Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? So Christian says, I don't want to label my thoughts as OCD, but the reality is that I have them. Why don't you want to label them? That's the best way to deal with it. You recognize the intrusive thoughts or the thought that is not yours, and you label them, call them for what they are. That's OCD, it's not me. So you separate what is, in fact, not the same. It's separate already. But you recognize that separation by labeling it, so you will know it's not you. And he says the same. I felt something happen to me. It was a warm feeling in my heart for my friend, and I feel bad. No, don't feel bad. Just don't interpret. Let the feelings and thoughts come and go. It has no bearings on who you are. It's just ability to allow such thoughts and feelings, which are all mostly a malfunction in the signaling system, emotional system, and alarming system, to come and go. You don't have to interpret anything. This whole idea of perfectionism, that I am perfect, therefore anything that is not as it should be is going to alarm you. And that's really the basis of all this anxiety, because you think everything should be exactly as it's scripted. And if it's not, must be something wrong with you. Like there's no other reason but some wrong with you, unlike what you want it to be. These are all just made up values that has confined you in certain kind of a pigeonhole, and anything outside of that, you've created some fictional borderline to judge yourself in any shape or form, which is not necessary. No? One day you could, I don't know, fart or have a diarrhea. What does that mean? Nothing. It's a malfunction in my biological system, and I have to take care of it and understand it, what I ate, what happened, and so I fix it up. I take care of it. I just noticed that this is how it feels. So what should I do to, understand it, rather than giving it certain kind of interpretation? Just means there's a malfunction. Okay. All right. Let's see how I can, help it to
regain its balance. Same thing. Mentally, we all have certain kind of glitches and malfunctions and signaling system going haywire. So, okay, what do you have to interpret it? What are you trying to prove? That I am this or that because this thought did or did not show up? That's nonsense. The thoughts that are showing up are made by the brain. They're not made by you. There's certain thoughts that you actually go into the consciousness, pick up the material or the uh, whatever you have in the inventory, the ingredients, and for a certain reason and purpose, you use the apparatus of the brain to do something with that particular information. Learn something, accomplish something, design something, produce something. All of that is your using the apparatus of the brain. So you're thinking, you're figuring out something. But the brain itself, also independent to you, it does its own making thoughts because its job is that making thoughts. It's a thought manufacturing plant with all the things that have come to its notice and it's found its way seep through the consciousness. Brain picks up all that, makes thoughts with it. These are the ingredients of this factory. It makes thoughts. It doesn't know what it's making. It just makes thoughts. If it's possible to make thoughts, it makes thoughts. Now, your job is to actually judge that and see if it's usable for you or not. If it's useful, then you do something with it. If it's not useful, just you let it be. Allow thoughts to be, to come and go. Don't try to dissect them and analyze them and interpret them and see if it's suitable or meeting your values or in line with your values or not, and then make judgments about yourself or why did it show. All nonsense. You know, it's like trying to figure out which destination each car that is driving on the road that you're walking or driving is having. What do you care where they go? Just allow them to be on the road. You don't have to know where they go, what make they are, why they're there, what are they doing. Thoughts the same. Let them come and go. Allow thoughts to be there. It's not a sin to have this or that kind of a thought, especially if it's not yours anyway. It's not mine. Austin Power. Honestly, it's not mine. All right. Yeah, I don't know the detail that you discuss with your therapist, Christian. I'm just hearing a couple of words from you. So if you give me enough detail, then we'd know what kind of a thought is it, what kind of a OCD is it, and which stage is it that we are talking about, label it or not. It's not about labeling it this way or that way, it's just about allowing thoughts to be there. But if it's an intrusive thought, then you need to label it, relabel it that this is intrusive thought. It's not me. Because the whole problem is that you relate it to you, and that bothers you. That you think it's representing, this thought is representing you. But when you label it as this is not me, whatever you want to label it, this is OCD, not me. It's HOCD, it's not me. This is the brain, not me. The fact of labeling it is not about labeling what type, is labeling what it's not you. And that's different. But otherwise, in general, you don't want to interpret the thoughts, just let them be. Let them come and go, and don't try to find out what they're carrying, what kind of a meaning they have, why they're there, what's the root. None of that. Just understand that this is acceptable for thoughts to exist. You know, and out of these thoughts that exist, you can find something usable or not usable. Maybe you want to invent something, maybe you want to figure out or solve something. And sometimes thoughts could be useful. So therefore, whether they're useful or not, you just allow them to be, not rather finding out why, for what reason, what purpose, who sent them here. Then the more you fuss with them, the more you're in contact with them. So the more you're entertaining them, the more you're having an exchange with it. And the more you do that, the neuroplasticity will happen in a way that you don't want it to happen. In other words, you become very good at fussing with intrusive thoughts. That's not what you want to do, because when you keep doing it, eventually it moves beyond the obsession and compulsion. It moves beyond getting dopamine every time you do the compulsion. It moves beyond all that addiction to the dopamine, and then it moves beyond and becomes a habit. That's why it's a problem. Why? Because the reward center and goal finding center and habit center, they're all on top of each other in the striatum. So when you keep getting addicted to the dopamine because you're doing a compulsion for the obsession, you're also motivating or stimulating the habit center. You're training the habit center. And after a while, that same thing that started as a obsession and compulsion and moved to addiction for the dopamine every time you did the compulsion, it moves into a habit. And that becomes more difficult to get rid of. And then it has got its own angles to how to get rid of that. So that's why you want to allow thoughts to be there rather than fussing with it, exchanging with it, and creating a training for the brain to pay attention to these things, which could cause a bigger problem. Christian says, I'm 16 years old in Bulgaria and I want to be an actor. Okay, fair enough. Peter E says, Peter, I think you want to say male, yeah? Make 38. When I first moved to Malta, I had to stay with my ex. It was difficult. How cold she was. You responded back then. I moved out after a few weeks, got a decent job. Today we are good friends and get along very well. Okay? Even though we both have seen different people, thanks to your awesome support. Delighted, Peter. Delighted you took good care of yourself. And you're accomplishing what you wish to accomplish in your life and building your life according to your education, understanding, experience, wisdom, and I'm proud of you. Christian Vasiliev says, she told me later that it was strange that at my first meeting, I have the diagnosis. I'm sorry, I don't follow. I missed some of your messages here. All right. Well, still cold. Still -7. All right, let's see. -7. Holy macaroni. -7. And we have Daniel Marquez. Says, thank you for your videos. They have helped me. Delighted to hear that, Daniel. And let me know your age and where you're tuning in from, Daniel. Which country, which city. Your thumbnail is very small, so maybe let me know your gender as well, because I can't see the picture so little. Column Haig. How do you pronounce the last name? Haig. Hi. Hey. Okay. It says, hi, Meran, 26 male England. Thank you for that. Says, just wanted to say thanks for your helping videos. You're such a fantastic help. Delighted to hear that. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Colin. I appreciate it and glad that it's been helpful to you. And Daniel says, I'm 48. I live in Florida, USA. Daniel, your thumbnail is so small, I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. That's what I've been asking. So, let's see. You know, one thing about this thingy here, I don't know how to remove the comment when I put it on. That's the problem. Okay. Whatever. So we have Daniel says, I'm a man. Okay, good. The thumbnails are so small and, and then part of the thumbnail is covered by the symbol of Facebook or YouTube. So it's kind of hard to see the whole thing there. Tommy C says, hi, Meran, male 40 UK. Thank you for that, Tommy. What would you advise when missing an ex has become habitual after more than 3 years? It's so ingrained that standard steps are insufficient in breaking the behavior. Well, the best time to break the behavior is before you allow it to become a habit. But most of you have not paid attention or been aware of this simple fact of neuroplasticity. The fact that you get up in the morning and do certain things, after a while doing it, it becomes part of your program, automatic program, without even noticing it. According to research of Dr. Anne Grable, and through her postgraduate study student Kyle Smith, she is the pioneer of having proven that multiple number of clusters of actions in the brain can become and represent as one action. For example, Dr. Schwartz says that he smoked for 30 years. And he said, yet, if you ask someone who just bought a pack of cigarette, opened the cellophane wrap, tore up the package a little bit, pulled one stick of death stick, cigarette out, put it on his lips, and create a fire with his lighter, or hold it 2 inches away from his face, the fire, which we're supposedly to stay away from fire, and you say, sir, are you aware that you did this many actions, and now you're holding the fire? He says, no. I'm just aware that I'm smoking. This whole cluster of movement and actions represents as one action to this person, right? Because it is according to the neuroscience of habits, it became one action for this habit. So you don't recognize all these steps that you take when you actually do something. So when you keep doing something, you no longer are recognizing that there's so many rituals, so many things you do. All you're concerned, all you think is that you got up and you left your apartment. Pretty much. You know, I got ready so you say, I got ready. I got ready, one action, but really in getting ready is what? Getting up, rubbing your eyes, going to the bathroom, doing your business, washing your hands, washing your face, doing, shaving, depends on, what, and then brushing your teeth, washing your face, having breakfast, all that, and putting your clothes on. These are all getting ready. But to you, it's like maybe having breakfast is one action, but it consists of making tea or coffee, having your toast, and creating something, cook something, and eating it, washing dishes. All of that is having the breakfast, but you just look at it as one. And many other things in life. So when you say that the regular standard steps are not sufficient, it's because you have created a habit that is ingrained in you through continuously doing the same thing over and over, missing your girlfriend, and you never noticed. Why is it that you think that you're missing your girlfriend? We discussed this in the previous programs, that mind finds its security, and I call mind here interchangeable with brain in this particular topic, but mind and brain are two different things. But brain or mind, in this case, in this example, finds its security differently than your physical portion of your entity finds its security. Your physical body finds its security when it is physically can know where things are. The limbs are here, arms here, legs here, everything is here. I'm in a physically safe location. The apartment door is closed. I'm in a good part of town. So physicality has created this physical security for my biological entity, my physical portion of my existence. But the mind doesn't find its security through physical security. Mind finds its security through occupation, through busyness, through order in life. What is the order in life? Well, there are certain things you do from the time you wake up in the morning, whether it's going to the bathroom and washing your face and toothbrush and shaving and having breakfast and getting ready and going to take your bus and going to school or going to your job. And after that, you maybe meet friends and have some tea or coffee or cake, or you go to the gym or whatever else it is that you do. These are mechanical processes. Through these mechanical processes, you create a routine. These routines create an order in life. So your life has an order. The brain, the mind is involved in all steps that you're taking for these, accomplishing these, performing these mechanical processes during the day. And because it's busy with creating all these, doing all these mechanical processes to create the routine, to create the order of your life, it finds its security in these mandates, in these jobs. It's busy, it's occupied. That's order of your life. When you are having a single life, you have certain mechanical processes that you do your own life. When you get into a relationship, the mechanical processes that you have and mechanical process that she has, they are becoming overlapping, and you find compromising. You eliminate some, add some, and eventually you come up with a certain kind of a routine that comes from certain kind of mechanical processes that both of you sharing and both of you have a part to create that routine out of those mechanical processes that you collectively choose and agree upon, and that becomes the order of your life. In that order, that now is amalgamation and combination of your mechanical processes, your order in life, and her mechanical process, her order in life, you find, your mind finds security. So now your mind finds security in the order of life, and this order of life is made by activities of two people. No longer is how it was before you got into a relationship as a single person, nor is it for her. Now you break up. When you break up, it is not just the relationship that you break up, you actually break up the order of your life that you have created together, including this person in your life. Now the girlfriend is gone, and she was instrumental in having created the routine and hence the order in life. She's not participating anymore. So the order of life, the routine, cannot be performed as it always did. So it's a breakdown in the routine, breakdown in the order. Therefore, the mind doesn't find the security because the order is broken and mind finds security in the order of life. So where do you go? You go where the order of life is still as it was before. Where? In the memory. There is a recording of this routine and this discipline and the order of life as it was for as long as the relationship lasted in the memory. It's recorded there. So your mind goes into the memory and looks, oh yeah, there's the stuff that I used to do and she used to do. And the order is completely recorded there. And the mind finds security then in that order which resides in the memory. And because of finding this security through the order, which doesn't exist in the actual world now, the actual life now, because she's gone, part of the administrator or creator of the order in life is no longer participating. Therefore, the order of life as it used to be does not exist in the actual life, actual world. The mind goes into the memory, finds the order as how things used to be, and feels secure. What else does the mind finds when it's roaming around the memory and enjoying security, having found the recording of the order of life as it was when you two were together? Participate. What? What else does it find? It finds her. It finds her as part of the administrator of creating that routine, that order in life. So when it's in the memory and finds security through finding the recording of the order of life, it sees her. It finds her. And you see her and it's secure, it finds the order, so everything is pleasant. You see her, then prerequisites to desire is also recorded in a file in the memory. So you see her triggers the desire, and then the desire triggers the steps that is prerequisite for desire to be born, which is recorded in there. No longer is being created in actuality, but the brain cannot tell the actuality in virtuality. So sees the steps for desire to be born, the steps that we talked about it, and I put the link here for the video that we have about desire and how to stop it. Those steps are automatically have been fulfilled in the memory. Therefore, it seems like they have now been completed and it is qualified to desire to be born again. That's why then you miss the girl. In fact, you're not missing her. You're missing the order, you're missing the discipline, you're missing the desire, because the desire file is there, prerequisite for desire to be born is there. So all of that is connected, and all these files become activated, and brain, not knowing the difference between actuality and virtuality, thinks, okay, I miss her now. I want her because I want this security. I want this order and everything else that is linked and connected. Capiche? So the idea is to, as soon as you can, when you break up, create new mechanical processes. Things that you will do as you did when you were single. You create things that you like, the hobbies that you like, the interests that you have, the things you want to accomplish. Again, you create a new mechanical processes for yourself, individually, only administered by you and accomplished by you. And therefore, you create a new routine, you create a new order. And in that order, not the previous one, in that new order that you created after breakup, the mind finds security. No longer it needs to go into the memory to find her, and then the prerequisite for the desire steps for to create desire is no longer in play, and then none of that will happen. You will not miss her. You will move on much faster, and later on, if you think of her, you will think of her as some wonderful experience or a horrible experience, however it was, and then you go on back to your normal actual life based on new mechanical processes that you created for yourself after the breakup, and then you go on and build whatever it is that you want to build and accomplish. And that's what I have to say all about that. Okay. Whose question was that anyhow? Tommy. Hope that's helpful to you, Tommy. Could someone explain to me what is this constantly I get in my live streams? Different people show up with different sort of looking like a site address. There's nothing else that they say, it's just the site address. For example, this person here, I've seen it over and over, different thumbnails. Like this one says VOA.FYI. What the hell does that mean? Pedro Emano. I don't know what that means. And some other ones as well. Tommy C says, thank you for the comprehensive answer. It sounds like the trick is to be aware of how the thoughts are working to diffuse the impact. Yeah, and the trick is to create a new order in life, and therefore your mind doesn't go into the memory to find order where it meets the X, and then the desire file, it gets activated and all the rest of it. Okay. And we have Tai Young says, hi sir, I'm a female 16. Have my parents consent to watch your videos? Thank you for telling me that. Appreciate that. Says, and I am from USA, so I have HOCD, and I commented on your video recently, and a random person replied and told me I'm gay. Yeah, I responded to you. I saw that note, and I responded to this response, to the response that I responded. I'm lost now. And I said, unless the response to your comment comes from me, or I have referred it to any link of the specialists of OCD or HOCD or psychologists that I have included in the links of the OCD videos that I've created, you pay no attention to them because you have no idea who that person is, what his credentials is, the lack of knowledge and understanding of OCD. Many psychologists don't even understand OCD and HOCD properly, let alone somebody who just wants to make a comment because his level of understanding is limited to what he knows, and he thinks what he knows is all there is to know, and he shares some stupid suggestion to someone who's already having a vulnerable brain and cannot figure things out. All it takes is for someone to open his mouth with some kind of a confidence, as if he's some kind of a source of an information, say some shit, and then you get all bamboozled because you're going through a OCD brain malfunction. So don't pay any attention to all these. And I removed that shit that I saw it. And that is a very stupid way of responding to comments. If people are not specialists or specializing or educated enough in a certain field, they should not make comment on people's questions, because it just creates a confusion for someone who's already trying to come out of a confusion of something that she or he does not know much about. That's what she's trying to learn. So ignore all that bullshit, because OCD, French call it the doubting disease. And as you know, they don't call it the way I call it, like I said it, doubting disease. They say it, the doubting disease, because they have an accent. So it is famous to be a doubting disease. So all it takes is for someone to throw in some kind of a bullshit into the question that you have. That creates another tangent of doubts and creates havoc. That is what you're dealing with, a doubting disease. And as you can see, that's the core of the whole thing, that you analyze, interpret, and investigate every little thing in order to create that perfectionism that you are expecting of yourself, thinking that any of these thoughts has anything to do with you, your identity, who you are, whatnot, so forth, rather than thinking of it as thoughts. Brain makes thoughts, but it doesn't know what it makes. Why? Because brain is not an intellect. There is no intellect. Experiences that was done by Dr. Sperry, which he actually severed the corpus callosum, the fiber bundle that connects the two hemispheres of the brain was functioning perfectly, even though it was cut in half. They tried to actually find that as a remedy for seizure patients, and they thought it starts in one corner of the brain and then it generalizes, it travels through corpus callosum to the other hemisphere. So they thought if we cut it in half, sever the connection between the two halves of the brain, then you wouldn't have a general seizure. It would be just localized, limited to one particular thing. So they did that, and that was the beginning of course, the seizure got better, but there was no reduction in the activity of the brain, even the brain was cut in half. So that was the beginning of realization of what Aristotle 1,000 years ago had concluded and was talking about, that there is what materialists have been focusing on, that it's only void and atom, atoms and void. There's nothing other than something. It's either atom or nothing. But Aristotle was talking about dualism, that there is something beyond the brain, the material process. There is something that brain cannot reach. And the materialists were against it. But now in the modern science, with the experiments that the neurosurgeons and neuroscientists have done, they've come up and proven that yes, in fact, there are aspects of mind and you that the brain cannot reach. One was this particular example of cutting the corpus callosum, and yet the brain was functioning perfectly well. And there were some subtle differences, but that subtle difference would have to be a certain kind of a Nobel Prize winning research to figure out that subtleness of the difference that was created after corpus callosum was cut. The other one was Dr. Penfield, that he actually, by doing thousands of surgeries that he would do to help the patients for different reasons, he researched and tried to stimulate different parts of the brain. For example, stimulating the occipital in the back of the head, they could create certain kind of a reaction in the eyes, and the patient would say that I see some light, or manipulating or stimulating another part of the brain, the motor part of the brain, and maybe the arm would go up. And maybe if they could stimulate a certain other part of the brain, a certain kind of a sound, like speech, would be stimulated. But they could never find intellectuals. They could not localize an intellectual center. They could not localize a math center. They could not localize a political discussion or consciousness center. They could not localize the intellect center. So the conclusion was that there is something beyond the material of the brain that the brain itself cannot reach. Then we get to experiment that Dr. Owen did. Dr. Owen had a patient that her brain was crushed in an accident, in a car accident, and the brain was totally crushed, like she was in vegetative state. And yet, in the vegetative state, when the brain was totally inoperative and crushed, they could communicate with her through what I have explained in the video that I produced based on the research of Dr. Egnar, which I will put the link up here for you guys. There are two links I'm going to put up here. Oops. One is this one that I was just talking to you about. Okay. This one is a very interesting, informative video that will help you to realize and understand what I just skimmed over. The title of the video is "You Are Not the Brain, and the Brain is Not You." And then, of course, another video I wanted to put in here, which I was talking with Tommy C., and that is this one. There's a longer version, but I'm going to put the shorter version here for you, Tommy, just in case you want to have a referral on this. That's for desire. The title of the video is Desire and How to Stop It. And so then through this, they realize that there are aspects of the brain that there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot even reach. And then lastly, Dr. Leibetz's experience, which is a brilliant experience. I just love that experience. That it actually, the experience was about having a bunch of people in the laboratory participating in this particular experience, having sat in the laboratory, and their brains were being monitored by probes, magnetic probes, and the machines were recording the electromagnetic activities in the brain depending on what task is asked from them. And in the laboratory, there was a big clock with the sweeping hand, which was counting the seconds. And so Dr. Leibet asked the participants to log the second hand as it moves, exactly when they decide to do something simple, like pushing the button. Not when they actually decide to push the button, not when they actually push the button, but when they decide to push the button. He wanted them to log when they decided to push the button. So they all did that and they recorded. So when he came around and looked at, let's say, a patient or a participant that said it made the decision to push the button at, let's say, 11th hour and 10 seconds. And they sure looked at the file of the probes were monitoring the electromagnetic activities in his brain. And at that particular second, 11th hour and 10 second, they saw about half a second before that 10 second that he made the decision, there was a spike in the brain. So brain anticipated such activity half a second before they made the decision. So the materialist says, see, brain knows everything. Brain is it. He says, no, wait. There's another part to this experiment that I haven't yet said yet. I'm getting there. So then he asked all the participants to do the same thing, only this time, when they decide to push the button, once they decide to push the button, they log it, and then they veto it. They say, no, I changed my mind. Then log that too. And the electromagnetic probes were still on everybody's head. So when they did this and they looked at it, they say, yeah, when they decided to push the button, there was a spike half a second before when they decided to push the button. There was a spike in the brain because the electromagnetic field calculators or machine for the activity in the brain had logged that half a second before they actually logged when they decided to push the button, there was a spike. But then it showed when they logged, when they said vetoed it, and they said, I changed my mind. The brain was no activity whatsoever. The brain was not even involved. Electromagnetic fields could not even see any activity in the brain, which means the free will, the discussion about free will was beyond the brain. The brain is not the decision maker. You, when you veto something, at least free, not will, is independent, and the brain cannot even reach. All these experiments have shown, beyond the shadow of the doubt, that you're not the brain, brain is not you, and there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain is not even in its pay grade, cannot interfere. So thinking whatever shows up in your brain, having anything to do with anything, rather than you being the boss, and thinking that the thoughts or the brain is actual boss of you or represents you, other than being just a tool, other than being just the apparatus, other than being just an organ, is futile. Watch that video. It's a lot more elaborate than I just made a short story of it, and you will enjoy the information that is shared there. So it's far more into it than the simple respond that that person did give you. And who was he talking with? Who was it that I was talking to? That was Tai Hyung. And I hope that's helpful to you, Tai Hyung. And then we have Daniel says, I have lived my life with fear of being cheated on. I'm starting a new relationship now. How can I overcome this fear? Why are you fearful? If somebody cheats on you and it becomes apparent eventually, so you sever the relationship. But instead of looking at it for what it is, you're connecting it to your identity, you're connecting it to your values, you're connecting it to the affirmation that you seem to be seeking by somebody doing certain things and not doing certain things, because that would interpret that you're valuable, you're the best, you're top dog, or you're not. And these are what's going into your head, which you should stay away from it. These are, again, intrusive thoughts. It has nothing to do with your values and affirmation and who you are, what you have accomplished, and whatever it is that you should be thinking about yourself. What she does or does not is a reflection on her, not a reflection on you. If she doesn't like cookies, does it mean cookies are bad? No. I mean, she doesn't like cookies, but cookies are still lovely and delicious by so many millions of people around the world. The fact that she does do something or doesn't, like something or doesn't, that is not a reflection on what that thing is. It's a reflection on her. So if she cheats, that's a reflection on her. It's not a reflection on you. And that is what you should clear in your head. The Music Tribe says, guys, you all know that I have a practice on mindthatseekstruth.com. There's a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on it and you can take a look at the sample chapters of the book that I've written, and you can acquire them, whether in print. They're expensive in print, and because they're heavy and there are lots of pages and got to be shipped, so shipping is included, so it's expensive. But you can acquire them in ebook version, 1/10 of the price, very nominal for you to have it. And I recommend you to have it, especially the book called Me, My Psyche and I. Me, My Psyche and I. And also, you have a choice to make an appointment for a Skype consultation with me. And if you make a 1-hour appointment, I will throw in for new clients another hour on me. We'll have 2 hours on that very session, plenty of time to get to know the issues you're concerned about, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Here's a link for the ones who are interested. What else was I going here? And the Music Tribe says, hello, male 19 from Lebanon. Oh, welcome. And must be middle of the night in Lebanon, isn't it? It's, what is it, 3:50, it's about 4 o'clock. It's about 3 a.m. over there, isn't it? What are you doing up so late? Says from Lebanon, and I have been going through HOCD for like a year now. And my question is, why in HOCD you put yourself as the person getting dominated in the same sex and feel the sex? It's not you who's doing that. It's the brain. So got to clean that up for yourself. You've got no part in that. That's a malfunction of the signaling system. It's not about you. All of that has got nothing to do with your inclination. All right. It just has to do with intrusive thoughts. And intrusive thoughts is part of the human brain, regardless of who you are, where you are. 8 billion of us now on this earth, 8 billion of us have intrusive thoughts. But the thing is, in the non-OCD brains, that they're not in the OCD glitch, when intrusive thoughts shows up, as I mentioned before, there is a lever, automatic lever in the striatum called caudate nucleus. Its job is to shut down intrusive thoughts as they show up. For a normal person who doesn't have, not normal person, everybody is normal. For people who are not in the glitch of OCD at the time, when an intrusive thought shows up, you say, ooh, what's that? And then caudate nucleus shuts it down, and then that's it. Off you go to your business. But OCD people, when they're in the glitch of OCD, when the intrusive thought shows up, it doesn't dissipate because caudate nucleus is malfunctioning, is not doing its job right. So when it's not doing its job right, it doesn't decimate and dissipate that intrusive thoughts, and it lingers. When it lingers, you being involved in a doubting disease, you say, well, because it's lingering, it's not disappearing, it must mean something. It's about my gender. It's about my inclination. It's about this and that, so forth. Got nothing to do about that. For example, you say, oh, I got to, click on the on and off switch of the light. I got to do that 50 times or 30 times or 10 times. If I don't, my father dies. And this intrusive thought, it doesn't go away because caudate nucleus is not shutting it down. And you can't go about your business. It's there. So you say, oh, it must be true then, because it's giving me a signal. It's alarming me. And you always, human beings, since thousands and thousands of years ago, always been in pursuit of psychological security, which will never be attained, but it's been in pursuit of it. And since this is not going away, and he wants to have that psychological security that everything is okay for me, my family, and all that, all the good things that we want, but it's not going away, this thought. So he says, oh, maybe now I got to do something. So he starts entering into a negotiation with some fictitious entity that is itself is a thought, and says, okay, then now if I touch this 10 times, then that entity will make it all go away and be good, and then that thing will not happen, and my father will not die. And you create all these things, rituals, to counter all these things that are all just malfunction of the signaling system in the brain. In short. All right. Who was I talking to? I forgot. Hello, Peter. Okay, no worries. Don't worry. Yeah, it does that to some people. I guess maybe theirs is also not their intention. Oh, VPN. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Uh-huh. Okay, anyhow, no worries. So let's get to Peter. Peter says, oh, Peter doesn't have a question. Peter, I'll look for your question if you have one. I think I was talking to the Music Tribe. Yeah. And Taeyong says, yeah, forget that. We talked about that. And Peter, we saw that one too. Taeyong says, one of the biggest reasons I want to take back control of my life is because HOCD is ruining my happiness, and I don't like it. It seems like it because it's horrible and horrifying, creates all these anxieties and so on, because again, amygdala, it's already ready to send danger signals anyhow to protect us, let alone when it goes a little bit haywire and has this glitch and makes it a little, very difficult because of all these false interpretations and reasonings that we come up with because we don't know what's going on. So we believe what scenarios prefrontal cortex is going to send for this malfunction of signaling that is coming from amygdala, and then we take that narrative, that script, and we say, oh, that's why this alarm is there, because there's something actually happening. There's nothing happening. It's like just the false alarm. It's like in the war times, let's say over England, every time bombers would show up, the alarm would go on. Boo, the whole city will hear the alarm, and everybody automatically would turn the lights off and pull the curtains. So the bombers wouldn't see lights and wouldn't know that's the city. They would not bomb it because it was nighttime. But then sometimes the alarm of the city would go malfunctioning, and there was no bombers, but the alarm would come on. Still, people would go and turn the light off and pull the curtains. Whether there were bombers or not, they would automatically react to a false alarm, because that is what they were supposed to do. That is the reaction to such an alarm. This is what they do. Now, when the amygdala sends a false alarm for the reason of malfunctioning is overactiveness and tries to protect you and just send something that there should be a danger to send it, is for danger, but when sends it with no danger there, the body still reacts to it as if there is any danger already. It's not going to interpret, it's not going to judge, and it's not going to wait for any kind of evidence. It just says, signal is sent, then I got to act. Anxiety, fear, defensiveness, and all these things, No different than how it was in the dinosaur times We were going to protect us. Amygdala was responsible to alarm us and protect us. Fear and anxiety and alarm, danger. So if there would be a twitch of sound you hear in the jungle, you wouldn't wait to see if it's a tiger, if it's an elephant, or forget it, or it's a dinosaur. You would react, start running or whatever, start on the defensive mode, even though there was nothing there. It was just, I don't know, a mouse or wind or whatever. So this is the behavior of the body reacting to a false alarm, and the actuality is that there are false alarms coming in. There is nothing different in you than ever. There's nothing wrong with you. Whatever your gender is, all genders get these kind of intrusions, intrusive thoughts, and alarms and false alarms, and they react according to what they are and what they are not, and they become anxious or fearful, and they react as their human body reacts to a danger, whether it's real or false. You still react the same way. So you're reacting to that, but then with all the other things that I explained, you start concluding something, and then you move on the basis of a conclusion. No longer you're observing that this happened, this is a feeling, that's what it is, no interpretation necessary, and go on. You don't. You come up with a conclusion because everything now has a conclusion, and suddenly that conclusion is the problem. If you just observe that it was a fear, a feeling, or a thought, and that's it, don't interpret it, don't go after it, it'll be all fine. But you don't. You come to a conclusion. This means this, and this is not acceptable to me because that's not it. And then you react towards that, and you start believing that because it comes from your head. The brain is mounted on your head, so you think it's coming from you because the head belongs to you, and all that misunderstanding. It's an independent system. It's got nothing to do with you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. You're not the thoughts. The thoughts are not you. And that is the beginning of treating yourself to get out of this rot. Anyhow, there's a lot more than one can, again, share. Again, if you guys are interested, you can go on my site, mind@6truth.com, make an appointment for Skype, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. There you go. Tai Hyung or T Hyung. I should learn how to spell your name. I mean, pronounce your name. Tommy says, thank you. I will check that out after the stream. Okay, good. Alion Chikyu also has the same kind of a thing. Alion says VOI.FYI. I don't know what that means. Chuckster is here. Says, hey, Meran, nice to see you. Live 38, Mail, Pennsylvania. Thank you for that. Hello, Chuckster. Didi Berry is here. Says, hello, sir. Hello, Didi. Good to see you. Daniel Marquez says, thank you for your spawn. You're quite welcome. Didi Berry says, hello, sir. I'm 27 from Minnesota. Male. What do we need to know about people who make us really angry and make us commit a crime like fighting? Fighting is not a crime if it's necessary to protect yourself. You know, if somebody attacks you, you're supposed to fight. Protect yourself. Or run. Better, run. Just don't associate with the people that you've already had the experience that these people are having that kind of a intention in mind to create anger and stress, and so refuse to hang around and hang out with them. Simple. You remedy some situations before they happen, not to go in there and when it happens, say, okay, now I got to do something. No, you just use your wisdom and experience to say, okay, I know this is not a good person to hang around with, so I'm not going to hang around with them because nothing good will come out of it. That's it. Rahul says, 34, male, India, says, hi, sir. I have asked her parents what they want. If she's not willing to continue, then let us separate them. It's been 5 months now, and I can't wait further. They have not given me an answer. Oh, you don't have to ask the parents, you ask her. You know? Simple. But what's your hurry? What are you going to do? You got another girl waiting? You don't, do you? So just simply do your life. But give her a certain kind of a information about your intention that says, look, I can't wait for another 5 months. It's not normal what you're doing once you come out and say it. You want to do this, so I get pissed off and I instigate the divorce. So you will have a good name. Oh, she was divorced by her husband. She didn't ask for it. She wanted to come back. These are all, bullshit that she may be put. She says, look, either shit or get off the pot. that's a joke that it was actually in a it's a joke about some famous theater. In other words, meaning either say what you want to do what you want to do, or just stop posing or pretending that you're going to do something. What's your intention? What is it? 5 months? What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of a crime have I committed that now 5 months? Okay. What is it that you want me to do that you will be assured? Of course, you don't want to be angry with her. You want to discuss it softly and kindly and say, look, I've been trying to be understanding, and appreciate your grievances, and I've apologized, and I've been trying to go forward and learn from it. But if you constantly want to keep it on the same level of no communication, we cannot understand each other or resolve anything if there is no communication. So what is it that you're intending here? What does this do? This silence. It's 5 months now. Obviously, you maybe, I don't know, having some plans, or I don't know if you're doing something, going somewhere, seeing someone or not. Maybe not. Whatever. It's your business if we are not together. But as long as we are together, let's figure out if you want to stay together, fix something, or you want to sever it. My intention is to keep this family together. If your intention is not, let me know, because, time is not going to be friendly to either one of us. You need to find somebody else to have a life for yourself, and I need to find another woman and who would want to live with me and put up with my shortcomings and whoever I am. But at the same time, we want to have a program to make sure that our child is well looked after, loved, and gets enough of both of us. For that reason, you got to be in the same city that I am, or I got to be in the same city that you are. We can't just uproot something just because somehow there's some kind of a glitch in our life. Are you willing to help me to fix it, or are you going to just react in this way that you've been reacting by keeping everything in limbo? What does it do for you? What's the end game of this? How long? Until you find somebody, or I find somebody? Or indefinitely? What's the use of this? What does it mean? Either people fix a problem together or they separate. You're keeping in a limbo for what? What kind of a punishment? What kind of a statement are you making? So I give you another week to think, and then I want an answer. And the answer would be, if we're going to work together, fix our problems, learn about ourselves. We've come a long way. We have a child. So wherever else we go, there's going to be other problems with other people. You think somebody else's consciousness is going to be perfectly as yours and so on? It's not going to happen. There's always going to be some kind of a problem between two people. But the key is, are they willing to fix it? Especially when they're young. When they're old, okay. They're old farts and they don't want each other. They've had enough. I understand that. But we've only been together, what, a few years? So, what do you say? You want to look at it positively, or you are using this to punish me? Where is it going to get us? The punishment is only as effective as long as it takes to bring a person to the table to rethink his behavior or her behavior, and they start discussing to resolve. That could be, okay, the punishment was worth it. We are there. We want to talk, but you're not talking. So that means it's not really about me anymore. And if that's the case, then let me know. That's fine. That's all right. You have the right to live the way you want. You don't want me anymore? That's fine. You change your mind? Okay. You don't want to be my wife? That's fine. I understand that. I respect that. I don't have any malice towards you. But I want us to get out of the limbo. Either we're going to be constructive, positive, build something, or we're going to just start over and destroy it and go with somebody else, and we'll face the same problems with somebody else. Guaranteed. No matter who I choose or who you choose, will have similar difficulties one way or another, or different difficulties. There would be difficulties. So if you like to fix it, I'm all for it. If you're not, okay, I respect that. Talk to her like this, see where it goes. All right. Go crazy, go stupid, says hello, Sarah. That's very welcoming. Thumbnail or a screen name. Says, I need to tell you something important. Well, you can make an appointment with me on the Skype and then tell me that. So go on my site, mind@6truth.com, make an appointment, and then you can tell me for 1 hour, whatever you like to say. Rahul says, I may take legal steps after 1 or 2 months because that's the only option my wife left for me. Yeah, discuss with her what I just said, and then you make that decision as you see fit. Jimmy says, sir, I want to give you a very big hug. Okay, I'll take hugs. I love you so much. Okay. You helped me with HOCD. A thought might come once in some months, but I face it without fear or asking myself. Thank you. You're quite welcome, dear. My pleasure. These videos are there for any time you need it, and so on. And thank you for sharing that with us, Jimmy. Jimmy says, guys, if you want to cure HOCD, just watch all his videos and you perception on bad thoughts and will change. Bad thoughts will change and you will cure HOCD. I'm delighted that it's been helpful to you, Jimmy. I appreciate the kind words and I'm proud of you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Ab says, hello, Meran. Aloha from London, UK 32. Oh, you're throwing me off now. Aloha. What do you mean? You're in London. Unless you're Hawaiian, are you? Or you just know that I love Hawaii. Well, aloha, mahalo, and wish you all the best as well. And thank you very much for bringing the Hawaiian word into our discussion. It's always a positive word. I always love to hear it. And thank you for that. Just let me know your gender as well. If you're, I can't tell from the thumbnail, thumb screen, screen nail. It says A. That's all it says. Kim Layla, again, we have the same thing. VASK.TECH. I have no idea what these things are, how they show up. Tai Hyung says, thank you for the suggestion. You're quite welcome, dear. Daniel Marquez says, thank you for the live. Have a good night. Thank you, Daniel. My pleasure. Rahul says, my wife and her parents are not taking any initiative or talk regarding our issue. I'm feeling that I am the only behind her to save the relationship. I feel I devaulted myself. What? Devaulted? Devalued myself enough, and it's time to move on. It's not devalued, it's just that you did what the right thing is. I'm proud of you. Don't worry. You did the right thing. You will not have any regrets later on. And Rahul says, I am not seeing someone. I'm fed up with this issue now and want my mental stability, happiness. She and her parents are having they don't care attitude. Okay, fine. Just focus on what you're going to do for your child and make sure that you have ways to, take good care of her, or make sure you have joint custody and that you have a say in her life and to be able to provide for her and so on. And A app says, haha, no aloha is my name, female. Oh, your name is Aloha. Oh my goodness. Such a special name. Oh my goodness. Are you also Hawaiian, living in UK, or somehow the parents fell in love with Hawaii and called you Aloha? My goodness. Wow. What a beautiful name for a lady. Oh, I never thought of it. That's such a beautiful name for a lady. Aloha. Oh, yeah, that's good. Here's my girlfriend, Aloha. This is my wife, Aloha. That's cool. Says, I don't have any issues to ask you about, thank God, but I did years ago and you helped me so much. I'm just here for your company and wise words, sending lots of love. I thank you very much, and lots of love I send to you. Aloha and mahalo. If you don't know, there is other words in Hawaiian. So anyhow, it was a delightful experience to see that you're here and that we have had a chat before, that you found the channel and my words helpful to you. Again, thank you for the kind words. Uh, Aloha says, yes, it's like Elaha. No, it's a Persian name. Oh, yes. Oh, so you're pulling a fast one on me. It's not, oh, I saw the A as an O. That's why I said Aloha. It's actually Alaha, meaning Elahe, actually. Yeah. Elahe actually has a meaning in Farsi, means angel. It's also a very nice name. Oh, thank you for clearing that out. So you're Persian, are you? It's like Elahe. No, it's a Persian name. I see. I see. Okay. But anyhow, it was a good journey. I went to Hawaii and back, and so I haven't seen Hawaii for 3 years. So I appreciate that. Anyhow, in the case, thank you. Much love. And again, thank you for letting me know that the channel and the discussions were helpful to you. I'm delighted. Okay, guys, it looks like we have hit all the questions. We don't have any more. I may have another one later on tonight if I can maybe position the computer somewhere in a different room so I wouldn't be disturbing my neighbor, which I don't actually, but I guess disturbance has already been there. It's not because I'm talking loud or anything. It's the walls are thin. Let's put it this way. It says it's pronounced Eloha. Oh, Eloha. Oh, she says, I'm not, she says, no, I'm Afghan, but my parents named me Eloha. Oh, Eloha. Haha, Hawaii. Yeah. Oh, I see. Eloha. I'd never heard that. Is that also the same meaning as angel as it is in Farsi with Elahe? Either case, all of them are beautiful names. Eloha. Rainbow says, Hi, Meran. This is female from Boston. Ah, Boston. Always reminds me of Tim Horton and Boston cream. It was my favorite pastry. Every time I took my son to martial art classes, kickboxing when he was 4 years old, and when we always on our way back, even when he was older from school, going to kickboxing, and then on our way back home, would always stop by at Tim Horton and get Boston cream. So the word Boston has a very good connotation feeling for me. So it says a female from Boston, 30-year-old. Can I ask you a question? I want to hear male's perspective if you still have time. Yeah, sure. No problems. Let's just give me a moment. Refill my tea. Be right back. Just one moment, please. I'll be right back, guys. Just leaving you something here to enjoy, perhaps, maybe not enjoy, but oh, here it is. Maybe.
The last word was just total bullshit. I just made it up. But the idea of being here just for a moment, just gonna forget every shit. And it's just good. Are you taping me?
Okay. I am back. Let's see. So, what is the question? Here we have. Who was going to ask me a question? Oh, Rainbow. Yes, dear. Where's the question? She says, love Boston cream as well. So I'm ready. Where's the question? No question. Okay, I'll wait for that question. I'll go to Peter. And Peter says, thanks for all your efforts. Thank you very much, Peter. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. And Rahul says, you're the only person who guides me in this issue, and I'm very much grateful to you. Your videos are helping me a lot. Thanks a lot, and lots of happiness to you. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much, Rahul. I'm sure that you just hear what I say, but you make your own decision, as I really don't know what is exactly happening there. But as much as I can, I just share with you what I think, and you make your own decisions considering all the points here and there. And Tammy C says, I'm learning classical guitar currently. So what video? So that video was fun to see. Yeah, I know. I used to play when I was a kid, and I had a blind teacher, and it was an experience that I won't forget. He was very talented. He could play piano brilliantly and play drums brilliantly, and would play violin brilliantly, and he would play guitar brilliantly, and he would teach me through his uh, instructions I would follow, but uh, he would read his notes on his braille reading, and he would teach me how to play, and it was. He was a brilliant man. Yeah, a moment of reflection on him and his life. Tommy says, I'm learning. Oh, yeah, I did say that. Rainbow, I'm still waiting. Where the heck is your question? Is it a big question? Should I put a special program for this? Oh, you did. You did. She says, I wrote the question above after Rahul's question. Maybe you only have chat set up as top chat. No, I think maybe it was too long. It didn't come through. So maybe you repost it. And if there are, maybe chop it in two if it's too long. Or maybe if there's a word that maybe the system is picking it up as whatever they think, you change the word to something else, then I probably will see it. So in the meantime, we can go back to some of the other comments here. Yeah, we were talking about the how easily we switch a name to a totally different topic, like Eloha became Aloha, because she put A at the beginning and I saw the A as an O, so it became Aloha with that. I thought, okay, I'm gonna wait till, let me just have a sip of this while Rainbow is going to figure out. Sometimes it's very tricky to drink a hot beverage out of these wonderful cups, Yeti, because they keep the heat so intensely in there. You can leave for a 2-hour walk and come back still hot. So when I just poured some, I have to be careful, don't burn my tongue. I've done that before. So Rainbow says, I'm popular among elderly. Okay. All of them think I'm the perfect wife material. Elderly. Let me see. Let me go back, see how old are you? You are, I think you're 30 years old. Yeah. Elderly, you mean what age are you talking about? Because to some, I'm elderly. It's hard to believe it in my own mind. So I still think I'm a 25-year-old kid, but God knows I'm older than anybody else that I get into a conversation with. So, so, but some elderlies could actually be suitable if they're, taking good care of themselves and they are not run-of-the-mill elderlies. But hey, however, let me see. It says, they think I'm a perfect wife material. Children love me, but the men I interact only like provocative, sexy woman that I'm not. And I start to get so disappointed. Okay. I wanted male's perspective on this. Elderly as in my friend's parents. Oh, okay. Well, listen. As much as we want to be, I don't know, politically correct or enlightened or behave wise or mature and whatnot, there is a program in our genes. We are attracted to sexuality of a woman. Like, it is important for a woman to take good care of herself, to be fit, have a firm body, take good care of her looks, dress nicely, and present certain sexual signals without intentionally making any gestures, but with the way she presents herself, she carries herself, would create that excitement in the program that we men, heterosexual men, have, which is paying attention for looking for signals of sexuality of a woman that we cross path with. If there are no, I don't mean to be facetious or be rude or anything, because I haven't seen you and you haven't explained. I don't know how you dress. I don't know how you carry yourself. I don't know if you're overweight. I don't know if you're fit. I don't know how you dress up. I don't know how you present yourself. So this is why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. It's naturally if a man is taking good care of himself, or even if he's not, his attention would go towards, if he's passing by a bunch of ladies, his attention would go toward the one who's well dressed, I don't know, high heels and or something that is proper, doesn't have to be provocative, but she has good figure, she takes care of herself, she's clean looking, she's healthy looking, she has her hair worn properly, and has pride in her presence, the way she has dressed herself, the way her posture is all representing great seed. Even though if we are not looking or understanding that, but our inner programming is detecting great seed for our offsprings to be healthy, strong boys or girls. And that signal comes through the sexuality of a woman, the way she takes care of herself, the way she presents herself, the way she wears her clothes, the way she walks, the way she looks. All that are representation of her seed to us. So, just like you girls, when you look at a man, you don't look at necessarily just the way he looks. You also look at the confidence that he or she that he has. You look at the abilities, education, ability to provide, his fitness to protect you, and everything else that is important for you to feel safe and taken care of. That's how you look at a man. That's how you choose your man. You don't choose your man as the first guy who comes along. So we also have that mechanism without intentionally looking for it. It is programmed. So the signals are coming without we actually have distinguished what signal. We just know this is the right signal or not. And most of it is based on sexuality. It's no secret that you gotta look sexual, not provocative, not all open up and all, but just sexual. Good fitness, hygiene, presenting properly through your clothing, it could still be sexual. The way you wear your hair, a little soft makeup, something that has that excitement written all over it. That's an invitation. Once that invitation takes place, then the rest of it, you already have it down pat. Your manners, your behavior, your education, your interaction, communication, all that bonding on consciousness level comes next. But if we don't have that encouragement or that invitation to pursue or to come forward to introduce ourselves because of the signals that we receive without you sending a specific signal, but physically we receive a certain signal, then we wouldn't have the chance to bond on consciousness level. Because even if you're very sexy and we sit down and, after a few intimate moments or scenario sessions, if there's no bonding on consciousness level, that wouldn't work either. So it's not just like if you're sexy, you got it all. No. The sexuality part, presentation part, is like the packaging. It's introduces, an introduction, it's an invitation to create that opportunity for us to see what's inside the package, what's in the consciousness. If we can connect on the consciousness level, then it will work. But if this sexuality, fitness, and all that is not there, the bonding on the conscious level will not have a chance to see if it can happen or not. If the compatibility on the conscious level could be there, but the fitness and looks and all the other intimate characteristics is not there, again, it won't happen. So both is needed, but the physicality of it, it has a priority in order to create that atmosphere of being able to share that the rest of the important part of the relationship, which is the most important, which is bonding on conscious level. So I hope that would be something helpful. And Rainbow says, so I'm losing sled confidence and not feel sexy and losing hope. I don't do one night stand. No, you don't have to do that at all. In fact, real, interested, qualified men who are want to be serious about a girl, not necessarily appreciate the one night stand. That's works against you. Unless neither one of you want to make a long term out of it, that's a different story. Says, I don't do one night stands or sleep around. Maybe I should start sleeping. No. Don't change yourself on that level. No. Keep your persona, consciousness as what you have created it to be. Just a little bit bells and whistles that you want to add. Like if you already have a great engine, you just need to have a little bit, maybe, I don't know, wider tires or a different paint job, or I don't know, some different projector lens. Make it a little bit more shinier. Otherwise, the engine is fine. She says, I'm skinny and a good dresser. Okay, then you got most of it done. I just don't give the men any hint of sleeping around with me unless he's my boyfriend. You don't have to give such a hint of sleeping around. Not at all. That's not what I meant at all. Give a hint of that you're allowed to come and introduce yourself. Give a hint of that if you're interested in the guy, all you have to do is just look at the guy with a gentle, subtle, not clear smile. If he's got interest, he'll come to ask you for tea. And that's all you have to do. Your job is very simple. Girl's job is very simple. You don't have to do lots of work. All you have to do, just look with a little bit of an interest. If not, if the guy is really stupid, a couple of times. we'll do the rest. You can rest assured. We'll come running. You don't have to do much. We don't even know how much money you have, what kind of work you do. All we need to see is a nice dresser and, just a little bit of a gracious smile, or I don't know, possibly maybe a bit of a intimate notion of some kind, whether in your dress or in your attitude. That'll do the job. You don't have to do much. Rainbow says, "Thank you so much. I appreciate your advice very much." You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. And Yogi says, male 36 North Vancouver. Hello, Mehran. I couldn't sleep well lately. What should I do? Well, just take your helmet off. I'm going to beat the crap out of your head on your head. You'll just pass out. What is that? Listen, don't underestimate the power of meditation. Proper meditating, breathing exercise, or the kind of meditation that I have on the channel. All you have to do, go on my search engine, put in meditate or to meditate. Just meditate, one word. You'll see, and it's guided meditation. And you meditate and you relax. Once you relax, the activities of the brain will diminish. Once it diminishes, it becomes not so active. And the reason you're not sleeping well because you're active. You're thinking about something. When you teach the brain that this is not the time to think, I can think about it tomorrow, it shuts off, and then you can say it through your thinking or through your meditation. The decreasing ripples will help the settlement of the excitement in the brain, and then you are ready to fall asleep. Also, if you are watching or doing some work on the internet or on your computer, the light that is exposed to and the circadian rhythm, the sleeping rhythm, it interrupts the sleeping rhythm. So if it's past your time that usually you sleep, you don't want to fuss with computers or lights so much, because then level of melatonin changes and it's not secreted as when it's supposed to, so you won't fall asleep. So pretty much that is in short. Yeah. So if you focus on the circadian rhythm and don't interrupt it, it will help your sleeping better. And Rainbow says, wish me luck. You don't need luck. Obviously, you're very aware of what you should do. You just need to be a little bit more sophisticated, and don't think that they know what you know about yourself. Men, in most parts, are pretty stupid. We don't know what qualities you think you have. All we see is your body, your legs, your outgoing personality. And we don't really go further than that. So you need to be a little bit coaching the men that you're interested in to they would see that you're allowing them to approach. If you're too serious and too into yourself, or too discriminating, which you should be, but at least it would not let the ones who don't look really good, like they won't impress you right away as being high quality, but they won't get a chance to come because they will be too scared to be refused, to be rejected. Men don't like rejection. That's why if there's a chance they could be rejected. So the trick is to open yourself up in a way that they would have the courage to approach you, feeling they won't be rejected, but you can reject them as many times as you want once they approach you and you didn't like the approach. But create a circumstance where they could feel less of a threat to to approach you. You still want it to be a little bit threatening, not too much, so at least the flakies won't come around. But you know where the balance is. Enough so they could be interested to come and ask you for tea or coffee or get to know you or talk to you, but not enough that it would, be overbearing and take up too much of your time, and then you can make your judgment. But you can't rely on the fact that I'm a great person, I'm wonderful, I've got so many qualities, so they should come anyhow. They should come and ask. No, it's a trick. You gotta, your attire, your looks, your disposition. You gotta give them something to encourage them. As I said, men are not all so smart. They're stupid. They may not feel aggressive to come in, or they need permission. Especially in this day and age, they're all afraid to even come and say hello, because there could be something stuck there. Oh, you infringed on my freedom or my space and all that shit that has taken all the chivalries out, they've taken all the approaches out, and everybody is just trying to, they've turned men into feminine so much that they don't know what to do. Who wants to be a woman, who would appreciate a compliment, who would take it differently, what law is behind it, did I introduce myself properly or did I impose on her? All these things have created a bit of a challenge for, all the good things that used to be in a proper way. Rainbow says, we'll do Meron. Okay, great. Good. Alex says, male 27, Missouri. It's been 2 years and I'm still not over my ex. That's on you. Ex doesn't have anything to do with it. That's on you, because you don't have respect for yourself. 2 years and you're still not over it. What do you think that ex is going to do? What is gold coming out of her vagina? What is it that you think that she's going to do for you, that you can't find another woman? Are you just condensing all woman and values and credibilities into one, this species, this specimen, this woman? That's it? You're diminishing all other women from value and excellence and excitement and amazement. There's so many amazing women out there. This is it? That's it? That's the only one? Why? Because you need affirmation. Because you need someone to tell you you're such a good boy and you're not rejected. That's on you. Don't give a shit. She doesn't want you, too bad. Next. There are amazing women out there far beyond this one. But you happen to think that this is the only label, because love and a relationship is like being on drug. You're accustomed to a certain kind of a label, certain kind of a brand of a cigarette. That's always you want that. Same thing, the addiction. You're addicted to her, you have addiction to her, and you think that's the only way that you can have the oxytocin and the serotonin secreted if you have that particular brand. No, you can get used to another one. So go on, express yourself, don't compare people, and focus on who she is today, how she treated you at the end of your relationship, not how she used to be when you guys were lovey-dovey. That's your problem. You don't see her actuality at the moment, how she is. You perceive her because she looks the same. You look at her, but you see the actuality of how it used to be then, when with that characteristics, and you superimpose that on her today. But that's not her. That's a different person. So see her for who she is, then you will see that she's not qualified, and you move on. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there forever and ever and constantly hoping that she's better than you. Why is she better than you? If she's not offering what she's so good at to you, she's worthless to you. Move on. There's so many other amazing women out there. I have yet to find another anyone that treats me as well as... Did she? The fact that she has left you, you still hung up exactly as I said. You're still looking at her the way she treated you well. But you can't tell me the fact that she left you is a representation of treating you well. At one time she did. So you're not seeing her actuality today. You're still seeing her with the eye of the past. Look at her with the eye of the now. Eye of the now says she's shit. She's no good for you. She doesn't treat you well. She doesn't want to be with you. Therefore, she's got no value for you as any further than just wishing well for this human being and let her go. That's all. But she's got nothing to offer you. And if she does, she's not offering it to you. If she's not offering it to you, what use do you have for her? Why? Because you've created an image of her, of angelic image, and you're worshiping that image, and you think because it's made by your own thoughts, it's a sin if you actually don't like what you created. Because you think there is a watcher watching how loyal you are to her, and she will know about it. And if you're not loyal to her, loving her, she'll never come back, as if she is. She's opening her leg for somebody else, and you are sitting here thinking that, oh, I have to be loyal to her. No. Grow a pair, move on. That's the end of my discussion for you. All right. And don't stop this nonsense. I feel that I will be alone forever. Yeah, you will be alone forever if you think that she's the only vagina in town. Because right now you're not thinking. You're thinking that she's the only female in the world, and she's the only person who can understand you and treat you nicely, even though she's not treating you nicely, even though she doesn't want to be with you. Doesn't hit right, does it? Go respect women. There are amazing women out there. Do not compare the woman who you haven't met with the woman who doesn't want to be with you. The woman who doesn't want to be with you, I don't care if her hair is made out of gold, she's not worth anything, definitely not an epsilon more than the woman that you have not met, because you can't judge them because they haven't treated you in any way, shape or form. So you can't have a opinion about them. So you go and venture out and find out who they are, what is out there, rather than making up your mind. Say, oh, I will never find anybody. Why? Why would you not find anybody else? Are you telling me that's the woman that represents all other women on earth? No. There are amazing, amazing ladies out there. You know? For example, Rainbow. But she's not going to give you time of day with the kind of confidence that hang up that you have. So, all right, guys. All right, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to have another live stream with you guys between now and New Year and so on. And if I did tonight, I will. If I didn't, yeah, I know, Rainbow, yeah. And if I didn't, well, then I will some other time. In the meantime, be good to yourself, and to the others, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. Well, we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing, again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.